Hey guys, so we are continuing with our war against the knee shield. We're continuing on this campaign, on this warpath to exterminate all knee shields. And one of the best ways to pass a knee shield that is very annoying, you get caught up in these battles where you're just being pushed away, you can't pin your opponent, you're in half guard, you feel so close to a pin and that knee shield just keeps coming in or keeps keeping you away. So one of the best ways we can get past the knee shield is to actually bring the knees too close together through a sprawl, right? So when Jake is playing half guard, what we want to try to do here is open this lock. He's got a lock of his legs on this backside. I want to open it by bringing my hips to the floor like this. So I'm turning and I'm opening it up. But we need to do this in a very particular way because if I don't have anything to stop his hips from moving out, he can just bring it back together. So I'm here, I don't have anything keeping his hips from, he can just push me away and he can scoot his hips away and start to make space to throw in omoplatas and things like that. So what we want to do here is if we turn a little bit, you guys will see, let's turn this way. We're going to do it from here. I get this hip grip. So it's going to be a really shallow hip grip. We don't want to reach up here where he can overhook me. And then he can throw in triangles like we talked about earlier with the weave. So what we're going to do is grab a really shallow hip grip, try to get all the way under and grab his other hip. So it's very shallow. We don't allow this to come high. We want a very shallow hip grip. And then we're going to sprawl on his legs. And this keeps him from moving his hips back and stopping the sprawl. So we're trying to keep him condensed and balled up and not able to manage distance anymore. So we get here, I turn, I sprawl. I'm pushing his legs into his butt. I want his foot close to his butt and I'm holding him here so now he tries to move away. It's very difficult for him to create distance again. So we're getting into this position and then we're going to start moving over the top. So go back to the original side. So we're getting here, we have our hip grip, right? So you grab the hip grip to make sure that he's not going to move his hips away when we sprawl. His legs are locked right now. I turn my knee this way, the knee that's inside the lock. I turn it this way and I sprawl against it. So I got his foot close to his butt and he can't move his butt away to create the distance he needs again. Now, I'm going to take his floating foot and I'm going to put my foot underneath of it. So I go like this and open it up. Now you might ask me, why am I doing this? The reason I'm doing this is to take his foot off of the floor. If he can put his foot on the floor, he can stop this pass by inverting. So if he can put his foot on the floor, like bring this to your, put your balls, your foot on, and then bring your hips up high. He can start to enter into legs and he can start to make it very difficult for me to keep him in one spot. So I want to take his foot off of the floor. And this is a common theme that I want you guys to understand is that even if somebody is extremely athletic, if they can't put their feet on the floor, they're not athletic, right? So when we get here, I'm grabbing my hip grip, I sprawl, and I have his foot into his hip pocket, basically. So his foot's being pressed against his tailbone. And now I'm taking my foot underneath, and I'm stretching this out as far as he can go. The more we stretch it, the less likely he's gonna take it back. If I have it here, he can pull his leg back and get rid of that. If I bring it out here, go ahead. He's running out of range of motion, especially for Big Jake. So he's running out of range of motion here. And now what we're gonna do is take our head to the floor, and we're gonna grab his knee, okay? So I'm taking my head to the floor here, and it's very important, and Jake brought this up, we don't wanna get caught in a 100%er grip here. So if I go here and my elbow is loose, go ahead, he grabs this grip, and now I'm being twisted, and I don't wanna be in this position at all, right? So there's a very precise way to do this. We grab the hip grip, we sprawl, I'm opening his leg up, and now I'm putting my head on the floor and I'm gonna grab his knee, but I'm keeping everything tight to my side. So there's no room for him to pummel into that 100% grip. So I'm here, go ahead. Very difficult for him to do anything like that now. And now, most of the time, their only recourse is to push you away. This is a super common reaction. So Jake is gonna take his left leg, the one that I'm sprawling on, he's gonna try to push me in this direction. And as he does, I don't wanna try to fight against it. I wanna go with it, and then I wanna keep this foot on the floor and vault over it. So he's pushing me away, like this. If I don't do anything, I just fall over. So what we're gonna do instead is go with it, sprawl over this leg and jump off this foot. So I'm here, I'm bringing this here, I've got my position, he goes, I sprawl and jump over it and jump to the other side. And now, if we want, we could take this same grip that we had and we pull it up so our knee is underneath of his knees and we can connect our knee and elbow so that he doesn't have any way to move his hips from here. And now we start working to the upper body, but we can start to pin our opponent and go into attacks. So one more time. We're in a regular knee shield, low knee shield. We're not gonna do this if it's a high knee shield. If it's a high knee shield, there's no ability for me to sprawl on it, right? So it's down low, I grab a hip grip, and I'm starting to sprawl on his legs. I'm turning my knee out, I'm opening his leg up as wide as I can go. And now, put my head on the floor so I have a base, and I have my elbow tucked to my side so there's no opportunity for him to grab that grip. Once I'm here, he pushes me away, I go with it, and I push off this other foot with my head on the floor and my hips high, and now I'm off to the other side. We can start climbing up the body in order to grab a pin and start isolating limbs to attack our opponent. And I was teaching this the other day to somebody, and they asked, what if your opponent doesn't push, right? What if your opponent doesn't actually go for anything there and they don't try to push you away and they don't freak out? In competition, it's very, very likely they will do that because when emotions are high, stress is high, you push, they push back, you pull, they pull back. It's very predictable, right? But there could be a time where you meet somebody who's extremely disciplined with their guard and they don't do such foolish things. So Jake's here. I'm gonna go back to that same position. I'm gonna show you guys what to do if he doesn't push on me. So I'm here, I'm holding the hip grip, I sprawl past it, and now his lock is open. I'm opening this up. I'm going for this position, but he's not moving. He's not like pushing me away at all. If this is happening, then we can do two different things. We could either take this hand and post on the top knee and just start walking behind the knee and get all the way to the backside, or we can take our knee and hip and mirror his knee and hip. So I'm gonna place my knee and hip exactly along his knee and hip. So you guys will see this. So I'm here, I'm opening this up, I can push this down, and I bring my knee and hip exactly to where his is. So now that it's matching, I'm just gonna take my knee and bring it over and point it directly into his hip pocket, okay? So I'm going like this and turning it into his hip pocket. It's extremely important that I put it in his hip pocket because now I'm taking all the inside position. If Jake tries to bring his knee and elbow together, he can't, right? And now I run his knees away and we're into a very solid side control pin where we can start moving into our attacks. So this is a really good way, a really easy system to start using sprawling tactics to not only fatigue our opponent, because even if this doesn't work and they push you off once or twice, again, it is very taxing on our opponent to carry our weight and keep re-guarding with their frames. Even a big, strong guy like Jake, it's gonna make them very tired after just a couple attempts at this. And then once you get the position that we need, where we're grabbing his hip, we've sprawled on the leg, and we're opening his free leg up, it's very easy to take your pick of either going over top of the knees like we just showed, vaulting over them, or just walking behind them if they don't move. So this is another excellent way of defeating the knee shield, getting past that annoying frame of the knee and getting control of the upper body. Give it a shot. Let me know how it is. Let me know if you like it in the comments. What else you guys want to see? You know I do them for you, so let me know. And as always, I'll see you on the mats. Eddie, Big Jake, Crash and Flow, BJJ.